Welcome guys, welcome to Unstoppable Part 6. That's right, we're in Unstoppable Part 6 and today we are thinking about the story of Esther. What was that? What was that, Olivia?
This session we want to think about how God put us in the right place at the right time to make us unstoppable for Him.
Yes, we are, Olivia, that is right. So without further delay, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for a story, for a craft, for a song, for a quiz, for a reflection, and all the goodbye-ness that we did bring each time? Are you ready? Oh, and don't forget, if you don't have a craft pack, then don't worry. You can either get in touch with the church office and we can try and send you one, or you can scamper around your house, hit pause at the right time, and find all the bits that you might need to make your own craft where you are. So, are you ready? Are you ready? 6 times and I still do that. I can't hear you guys, I know you can hear me, we're ready. If you're ready, then let's go learn how to be unstoppable with God.
Hello boys and girls, it's me again, Brian the Camel. I love being with you so much that I just had to insist that Oliver let me tell you one more story. He didn't quite believe me at first, but this story is all about a grumpy king, a lovely queen, and all of God's people back in the day called the Israelites. Ooh, what a cracker it is, boys and girls. Are you ready? Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Many moons ago, there was a grumpy king called Xerxes. Now he wasn't a nice fella. He fell out with his wife, and because he was the king, and back then kings could do this, he sent her away from the palace. Such a silly, grumpy man. Anyway, the king decided to find another wife, and after searching high and low, he found the lovely Esther. She was so kind and helpful, and she was an Israelite. The king married her. Then, one day, a while later, another grumpy man called Haman decided to try and trick the king into being really mean to all the Israelites. I mean, he was a proper meanie, worse than the king. Esther heard about the plan from her uncle, who also worked for the king, and she was very scared. Her uncle, Mordecai, said to her, "You've got to go and tell the king. This is super important." But Esther was still scared. And then Mordecai said the most amazing thing. Do you want to know what he said? He said this, "And who knows, but you have been placed in your royal position for such a time as this." Well, with that, Esther plucked up the courage and went to the king. She invited him to 2 banquets, as well as the bad man Haman. And at the second one, she told the king everything. Everything. Well, the king got really, really grumpy this time and looked at Haman. He called for the guards to take him away. And with that, the king, Xerxes, turned around the order to be mean to the Israelites, and instead everyone had to look after them and be kind. Well, boys and girls, I tell you, never has one person been put in the right place at the right time than Esther. She was brave, she was patient, and she accepted that God knew where to place her, even if it didn't make sense to start with. Esther became unstoppable because she trusted the place God had put her in, and she did her best. See you soon.
Hi everybody, it's craft time. So, today's craft, I bet you can't guess what it is. Yes, that's right, we're making a crown. So, you should have received in your pack a strip of silver card. Now, on the other side, it is actually white. So if you don't want to have a silver crown and you want to design your own, you can use pens and pencils to decorate this side of your crown and put jewels on this side. Okay, speaking of jewels, inside your pack you should have got some large, different sized, different shapes, different coloured gems or jewels to stick on your card. And you should also have got a strip of sparkly shape stickers in all sorts of colours. Now, the first thing that you probably will want to do is make sure that you've got some glue handy, because although these stickers do have little peel off bits on the back, they sometimes don't stick. So have some glue handy just in case. You'll want some scissors, and you'll also want some sellotape. As usual, mine's brown. But you can use any kind of sellotape you like. Now, I recommend that you lay your card for your crown out flat in front of you, and you stick the jewels on while it's flat. If you try and make the crown first, it makes sticking the jewels on quite tricky. So, start with your card lying down in front of you on the table, and then take your jewels in any configuration, it's a big word, in any way you like. So I'm going to start in the middle of my crown, and I'm going to stick this big heart that I've got here in this little wavy bump bit here. So I'm going to make this part the middle of my crown. Okay, so that's my little middle. Now I'm going to stick my next ones onto my crown on either side of the big heart. I'll show you that in just a second. So there we are. So I've now got a big orange coloured heart and 2 green teardrops on either side. Now I'm going to use some of my little stickers, and I'm going to decorate a pretty band along the bottom. I'm going to do a little repeating pattern. You can choose to do just your favourite colour ones, just your favourite shape ones. You can just do them in any order you like. You can do whatever you feel like to decorate your crown, and just stick them on like this in any kind of pattern you like. Now, on my one that I was wearing that I made earlier, can you see I put my little pattern at the top because my crown was a slightly different shape. So I put my little repeating pattern across the top, so that when I wear it, the spikes at the top have all got different jewels in, as well as having some jewels around the bottom. Now, once you've got your stickers in your pattern along the bottom of your crown, it's time to start making your crown so it fits onto your head. Now, you might want to ask a grown-up to help you with this, because it does help to have an extra pair of hands. So if you've got a grown-up, or even a big brother or sister or granny or granddad hanging around who can give you a hand, what you need to do is make your crown into a circle shape like this one. So the easiest way to do this is just to try the different sizes of the crown on your head. So start at the very edge of the crown, make the edges touch, and then just try it on your head. If it fits, then that's great. You can just cut yourself off a little piece of tape like I'm going to do and stick it down. So I find to make your crown look really pretty, it's better if you put the tape onto the inside join of the crown and then just bend the bottom around just to seal it off, and then you've only got a tiny bit of tape showing. But my tape is brown, so it's not very pretty to look at, but if you've got clear tape it won't really matter. And then you can just pop your crown on your head and look thoroughly regal. So that's today's craft. Thanks very much. Take care.
One, two, three, four, five, six. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are His, the valleys are His, the stars are His handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. He made the trees, He made the seas, He made the elephants too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are His, the valleys are His, the stars are His handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do.
Fantastic. Here we go with our quiz for today. Just before we get to our reflection, here we go. I hope you can remember a few bits about the story as we go through some questions. So let's test our memories. Right, question number 1. Who was the king in this story? The king was Xerxes. What a great name, eh? Xerxes. Very good if you got that one right. Question number 2. Who was the new and lovely queen? Her name was Esther. The story that everything is revolving around today. Question number 3. Who was the baddie in the story? Boo! Who was the baddie? Haman is the answer. Well done if you got that right. Question 4. Which people did Esther belong to? The Israelites. Well done. Very, very good if you got that right. And also question number 5. How did God save the Israelites from their enemies? God used Esther as the queen by putting her in the right place at the right time. Give yourself a round of applause, folks. Congratulations if you got 5 out of 5. Good memory, good remembering. It's a great story. And so let's think a little bit more about what this story might mean. Oh, hello everyone. I'm just finishing off my puzzle here, my bus puzzle. A great picture of a London bus that I'd like to show you all. Oh, whilst I finish my puzzle off though, I was just wondering, Have you ever had a moment in time where everything just comes together in just the right sort of way? You know, one of those kind of almost seems slightly random, but it's anything but random, isn't it? It's awful. It's just so exciting when amazing things happen. So let's just finish this off so I can show you my puzzle. Doopy-doopy-doo. Oh, I need a bit more of my tape to finish that off. Lovely. And here we go. Ooh. And here we go. This is my London bus puzzle. I've got to admit, I really like it. A great sunset in London. This reminds me of a time when everything kind of came together for me, when everything landed in the right place at the right time. So let me tell you all about that. I was going to go and visit a friend, and I had not kept a very good eye on the clock, so I was 5 minutes late. Yes, I left about 5 minutes late. And to make matters worse, when I got to the bus stop, all the buses were delayed. That's not good. I was already late, the buses were delayed, I hadn't checked on any time, so I didn't know which bus to even catch. It was just all a bit of a mess. And then all of a sudden, down the road, comes this bus. And I'm like, oh, I can catch that bus. Yes, that'll take me to where I want to go. So I hop onto the bus, and the best part is, it's the fast bus. This is the bus that doesn't stop except for the place I want to get to. So it's one stop between where I am and my friend. And you know what? I went from being 5 minutes late to being 2 or 3 minutes early because the right bus came along at the right time and I was able to hop on board. You know what? I think that God was looking after me that day and looking out for me because I needed to go and see this friend because we had a really, really good and important conversation when I got to see them. So I really think God was looking out for me then. And actually, it reminds me a little bit of our story Esther today. That actually, Esther was in the right time at the right place. No, there were no buses, just to clarify. There were no buses in the book of Esther. But Esther, who becomes the queen, is in the right place at the right time for God to do something incredible with her life. She didn't just do a little thing, small thing along the way. She saved all of God's people. In that day, they were known as the Israelites, and she saved all of them, because God put her in the right place at the right time, and she trusted in Him. And so in the story, we see Esther that becomes the queen. She then she hears about this story to be mean to the Israelites, and she goes to the king. And she asks the king tells the king the story, And as she tells the king the story, everything starts to change. Everything goes from being a really bad situation to a really good situation. Esther trusted God that He had put her where she needed to be. She took courage, and so she went to see the king. And then she spoke out against what was bad to identify what was good and say, King, surely we need to do the good thing here. And you know what? The grumpy king, grumpy as he could be, listened to Esther. And he took on board what she had to say, which is fantastic. And you know what, boys and girls? You can and I can be like Esther too. We can do the same. Did you know that throughout all of the coronavirus times, by trusting in God, we know that God has put us each in the right place at the right time. And so that we might help other people and be able to tell them about Jesus too. Because God knows what He's doing and He knows where He'd like us to be. It can seem like such a big thought, can't it? How does God know where everything pieces together, all at the right time, in the right place, in the right ways? Wow, it's huge. And it's a bit like my puzzle, isn't it? My bus puzzle. That God can piece all of it together. Right time, right place, because we trust in Him. But this is where God makes it work. Take it away, Olivia.
Even during in times of the lockdown, God still knew where we needed to be.
That's right. We become unstoppable with God when we trust Him to put us in the right place at the right time so we can do good things for Him. Oliver, back to you. And there you have it, guys. We can become unstoppable with God when we trust Him to put us in the right place at the right time for Him. Thank you so much for joining us at home. You guys are the best. And thank you to Alex and Olivia, to Asher and Laura and Lorna. You guys rock too. You have made all of this possible. And this simply leads me to say it's been such a joy and a pleasure to learn to become unstoppable with God, with you guys, as we go. Our online videos have run their course, and whilst we're sad to say that, we have some exciting thoughts about what we might do in the future, so watch this space. We're still looking into it. We're not quite ready to tell you exactly what that is yet, but whilst we're sad about the videos, we're excited because we think God has some good things for us and for you guys, and we want to be unstoppable with Him. So, the one thing we know to be true above all else is that God wants to make you and me and all of us unstoppable with Him. So keep learning and let's be unstoppable.